What is up, comic book fans, readers, collectors, cover lovers? Everyone is welcome here at Nerdy Geeks Comics, no matter how you collect. Today is Sunday, February the 22nd, 2026, and it is Sunday Show and Tell. But as I told you, if you watch my FOC video, this is going to be a different Sunday Show and Tell because, as I said before, my plan is to go to MegaCon, and I need to save up money for that trip because MegaCon's not a cheap trip. So what I'm doing is I'm buying less from Whatnot, less from eBay, less from online retailers, trying to save up some money so I can go to MegaCon. I can buy some nice exclusives, get a lot of autographs from some really great artists because there's a ton of fantastic artists that are going to be there at MegaCon this year. And also, going to try and maybe go to Universal, because if you don't know, whenever you go to MegaCon and you buy your tickets, they'll ask you if you want to buy a ticket to Universal. When you do that on Friday, the Friday of MegaCon, they shut down Universal to the general public around 5 or 6, and then it's only open to members, people who went to MegaCon who have this special little wristband. And basically you can get on all of the big rides at Universal, and maybe the longest you'll wait is 20 minutes. It is fantastic. We did it last year. So the motorcycle ride by Hagrid, which is normally, I think, like a 2.5 to 3.5 hour line, that was about a 25-minute wait. But everything else, the regular Harry Potter ride, we literally walked through the entire queue and right onto the ride. It was amazing. The Hulk ride, walked right on it. I think the Velociraptor, there was maybe like 5 or 6 people in front. But it's only the big rides though. Like a lot of the zones are closed because, one, it's already at night and they rush most of the people out. There's still some restaurants open. So we did dine in at the Harry Potter dining hall that they had there, which we're thinking next year. So you get a dining ticket with your purchase. However, it took about an hour and a half for us to go through the line to get our food, to sit down and eat. So we're thinking this year when we go that what we're going to do is we're going to go early, eat, and then we're going to take advantage of that ride. So we're going to have, the rides. So we're going to have an extra hour and a half, hopefully, if everything goes right, to be able to get on everything. But, don't worry. I'm going to take as much video as I can from the con floor. Hopefully I can tell people that I'm a YouTube influencer and maybe get some interviews with people. I don't know if 279 subs is enough for them. I doubt it, but I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to see if I can get some caps made and maybe a t-shirt. Maybe I can look more authentic. We'll see what happens. But anyways, that's why I have nothing to show for you when it comes to comics. But a lot of people are always asking me on live streams and on my comments about my statues. People love my statues. Sideshow. These two are Sideshow right here and here. Sideshow, that's an XM Studios. That's a Sideshow. That's a Sideshow. So as you can see, I have a lot of Sideshow statues because most people, when you first start collecting statues, and I haven't done it in a while, it's been probably 2.5 years maybe since I got my last new statue, kind of jonesing, to get a new one. Hopefully there's one that comes out pretty soon. But anyways, usually Sideshow is the easiest way to go through. They're out of California. You can have them, you can buy them here in the US. There's no problem. When XM Studios first came out, this Cyclops right here, they are based out of Singapore, but you can only get them over there. So we couldn't buy them over here unless you were buying them on the secondary market. So it finally did expand where you could find places where you can order online and they will get it to you from over there. So that's why I do have some. These are not all my statues. So this is the top. This is the middle shelf. There's a bottom shelf down here that has statues in it. And I have another shelf in another room that has Superman, Wonder Woman, and Batman on it, and another Deadpool statue. And then I still have 5 or 6 statues that are in boxes that I've yet to unopen because I ran out of room. That's the bad part about statues. You think you run out of room quick with comic books? You run out of room quick with these. Anyways, guys, the first one I'm going to show you is my Cyclops from XM Studios. It was the first XM Studio statue I ever purchased. I love it. Hopefully y'all enjoyed this video. Leave me a comment. Let me know if you like this type of content, if you want me to do more of my statue reviews, if you want me to show you where and how to buy them, because they are expensive, but it's still cheaper than buying grails from comic books. I'll tell you that. And most places allow a payment plan, so you can do payment plans, you know, anywhere from 3 months, some of them up to 12 months, depending on how expensive the statue is. So let me know if y'all want, you know, a video where I can show y'all where I buy my stuff and, you know, how to purchase it and all the different studios that sell them, because before it was mainly Prime One and Sideshow. There was DC Direct and things like that, but now, you know, everywhere on the globe they're selling statues. So if you would like to see that type of content, and also let me know what statue I should show you next. Just so you know, these ones on top, you're gonna see in the video when I do the review, don't have a lot of space, and these are way bigger than the one I'm gonna show y'all today. Let's get to it. All right, guys, so this is my XM Studios Cyclops. This is one of my absolute favorite statues. I am a big fan of Cyclops and the X-Men, and I was realizing the other day that most of the characters I have are X-Men characters. So, you know, be that what it may, but this is my second Cyclops statue. I actually have another one. This is the second one I bought. My old one was one of the original ones I got whenever I first started collecting. So this is Cyclops. He is on a base that it looks like a destroyed part of the school. It looks like there might be parts of Sentinels in the base. I'll show you all that here in a second. I'm just giving you a 360 tour, and sorry, I don't have one of those automatic spinners. This is me putting this on one of those lazy Susan racks and just spinning it by hand for you. So here he is. If you really can't tell by looking at him, his visor does light up. I'm gonna block the light real quick, and you can see that it is lit up right there. You can't tell it because of course I have the lights on him, but it's a really great statue. I just love this classic look of Cyclops. This is how we always remember seeing him in the animated series, in the original, well, in all the comic books, but I believe there was a card that looked just like this. One of the, I don't know, maybe one of the Fleer cards from like 93, 94, somewhere around there. I don't know. If y'all know, let me know. But yeah, this is a fantastic statue. This is actually one of the first XM Studio statues I ever purchased. It's a company that's out of Singapore, and they do amazing work. Like one of their first statues they ever put out was a Magneto sitting on his throne, which is of course made of a Sentinel's hand. Really fantastic statue. That came out before they really got big here in the US. And that statue, I want to say, originally sold for like $800, $850. And it's been a while since I've really been in the statue community. The last time I probably bought a statue was maybe 2 years ago, maybe more. So, but I remember that thing selling for like $3,500 at one time. I have no idea what it goes for now, but I know it's one that I always coveted and I always wanted to grab it. But that's just way too much. But then, and they were region locked, so they couldn't sell directly here to the U.S. So it was a while before I figured out a way. Like for a while, you would have to make a contact over there in Singapore, send them money, and then hope you got your statue in. Then I found a website, Spec Fiction Shop, and they buy them from Singapore, and then they sell them here in the US. So that's how I was able to pick up Cyclops. but a really great statue. Let me see if I can keep it from turning because my table here is a little uneven, so he kind of wants to turn. As you can see right there, he's starting to turn on his own. And I'll show you the base. And then this one is one of my favorites because this one actually comes with a switch out. So you can switch it out and make it look almost like a completely different statue. Give me a second. All right, so here you go. Here is the other body that you can switch out on Cyclops. And I really love this one. I know this one does have a card that was basically this exact same pose, except he was looking straight up and firing the optic blast straight up. It's a pretty classic pose of Cyclops, but this is a really fantastic one right here. All right, I adjusted him a little bit, so hopefully it makes it easier whenever I spin him around for y'all to get a better look that he's not going to be hitting anything around him. But yeah, this one is really awesome. I love the look of it. I love the scope of it. I love his uniform. I love the textures that they put in here. Like you can actually feel all of this right here. All these seams you can feel. The gloves are really cool. And again, on this one, the same as the other one, you probably can't tell, but he does have his optic blast does light up. So a really great sculpt. This is probably my favorite, way that Cyclops, his costume that he's ever had. All the pouches from the 90s, the little Y symbol right there, on his uniform, this hairstyle with the leather jacket, that Jim Lee era type. I've always really loved that. And yeah, this is the second version of him. And like I said, it's the exact same thing, except the only difference is, he is the body. So you can actually switch out the body. The body separates right here, and there's a peg that's in Cyclops that goes into the body. Let me see if I can show you real quick without, messing my statue up. So basically, you got to hold on to the base and you got to pull straight up on the body. There you go. Separates right there. And I was wrong. The peg is on the bottom and he just has a little hole right here. And if you see that hole on the inside, it's because he comes with a stand. So for the other body to switch out on, and that's how that one holds in there. And then the same thing with his head. Take this off. You can turn off the visor, turn it on. I'll do the same thing as with the last one. I'll block the light so you can see it. Oh, you can kind of see it. It's not the greatest picture, but yeah, you get it. And then the hair is magnetized, so it stays on that way. It's magnetized on there. And then the head does pop off. And that also has a magnet in there, that circle. And that's what, see, kind of pulls it right in there. Yeah, so they did a great job with this, because back in the day when they started doing these with the heads, you could see the seams really well, but now they do a pretty good job hiding it in there, making it look like part of the material in the fabric. But yeah, it's one of my favorite statues. I really love this one. So yeah, like I said, this is one of my absolute favorite statues. Really happy that I was finally able to start buying some XM Studio statues, because their quality is amazing. Prime One is another great studio that does statues, but they tend to be 1/3 scale and half scale. This is a 1/4. 1/4 is where I try to stay when it comes to my statues, so they all match pretty well. But Prime One has really, really nice statues. The only thing is, since they're bigger, 1/3 scale and half scale, those are really expensive. I think I only own one Prime One Studio statue, and I couldn't help it. So again, XM is out of Singapore and Prime One is out of Japan. And the Prime One statue that I have is Ellen Ripley from Aliens, and it's her, whenever she's looking for Newt, going through the lower levels there on LV 426. So that is a fantastic statue. It's a little bit bigger than this because, of course, they're all to scale. So despite the fact that it's Ellen Ripley, Cyclops is what, 6'3", 6'4". Ellen Ripley might be 5'10", 5'11". So yes, she is bigger, but she's not that much bigger than this. Like if you were to get a Hulk that's a 1/4 scale versus a Hulk that's a 1/3 scale, that is a massive difference. But anyways, This is my XM Studio statue. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Like I said, I'm trying to save up money for MegaCon, so I don't have a lot of books coming in for my Sunday show and tell. So I thought, well, you know what? It's Sunday show and tell. Let me go ahead and show and tell about one of my statues, which a lot of people have been asking about. So, if you like this, or if you want me to find a better way to display it, this is the best way I could display it right now. I have a limited space. Even though I'm in my new, recording area, I still don't have a lot of space for stuff like this. As you can see, if I went too far down, you can see the edges of the back of my display. If I go up, you'll see the top edges of my display right there. So, I did the best I could. Hopefully with my other statues that are bigger than this, because I have, Hulk, Voltron, Apocalypse, Thanos, they are way bigger than Cyclops. So they're going to be even harder for me to display. I'm going to have to figure out how I'm going to do those. But anyways, guys, I appreciate y'all all for watching. I wanted to make sure I put something out for y'all, for this Sunday. I didn't want to have 2 Sundays in a row where I didn't put out a video. But as always, thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see y'all next time.